Are you all set for the all-out pump? All of humanity's resources will literally moon throughout the stratosphere. It's all about everything right here in today's video. Every boat will rise. Prior to discussing the recently created ETF that includes all of the cryptocurrencies in that basket, a few points must be addressed. Justin, for the first time ever, Coinbase formally introduces perpetual futures trading in the US. Futures are supposedly live or available. All right, Coinbase folks, up to 10x leverage. This suggests that right manipulation is going to take off. The amount of manipulation is going to increase dramatically, especially because Bitcoin is involved. You mean Coinbase guys? Fofo. Whoa, that indicates that things are going to go crazy since the cryptocurrency market will be exposed to more risk and people will just hear you exchange as much as you can. High leverage, up to 10 times, indicates that everything is fine. Additionally, many wealthy people use this Coinbase. Whoa, fofo, character. A brief aside, guys, don't fall for their tricks. Hold on for dear life, okay? Avoid trading. You will manipulate Bitcoin even more crazily than it is now that this has been launched. Look at the merchandise, not the natural setting. They will entice cryptocurrency consumers to use it. Though, just starting next year, JP Morgan may start providing loans backed by cryptocurrency, such as Bitcoin and Ethereum holdings. The last thing they want is for you to sell. People, they don't want you to sell your cryptocurrency holdings. I take it that XRP will also be added. XRP will also be added. We will witness the most insane alt season in human history by the following year, so perhaps even various cryptos. Therefore, they will undoubtedly be adding altcoins in addition to ETH. Basically, guys, you could take out loans against your cryptocurrency holdings like Bitcoin and Ether and use them as collateral either now or next year. What does that mean? You don't have to sell it all because everyone in the cryptocurrency market will be doing this perfectly, so there won't be any pressure to sell. Since no one will be selling these coins on the open market, they will continue to soar in value. Brio. And they will seize these loans against their assets, including Bitcoin and Ether, if they do. You are aware of the safeguards they are putting in place now before they physically explode all cryptocurrencies, aren't you? Although this is fantastic news, it may go wrong, don't you think? Everything will collapse and things will get nasty if we actually witness a collapse. However, Justin SEC has approved the Bitwise 10 crypto index funds conversion into an exchange-traded fund, ETF, that holds the following cryptocurrencies. What can we see now? This is huge now. This is huge now. When I said they're gonna pump everything, guys, I meant this. All right, you might be surprised to learn that this basket contains more than just Bitcoin or Ether. The Bitwise 10 crypto index fund is essentially this. Link, AVAX, Litecoin, SWI, Cardano, XRP, ding, 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 huge, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. Notice that it's not simply Ether and Bitcoin. The strange part is that this cycle will be much more insane than 2017. If you were here in 2017, you would have seen all of the symptoms that indicate the end of the season, which everyone has been anticipating. I'm not lying, am I? I recall that day. This time, they're getting ready and releasing things, and they're not just any old product, because investors will now have an allocation to these other cryptocurrencies. I remember those days, people. My problem with purchasing this index fund is that, while the weight of XRP is just 6.7%, an intriguing figure to say the least, why is it so low in comparison to Ethereum or Bitcoin? In this basket, Bitcoin is the biggest and carries the most weight. You are essentially purchasing 73% of the Bitcoin dudes in the basket when you purchase this. Ethereum will also have a weight of 14%. Additionally, Ethereum will weigh 14%. A tiny portion of this cryptocurrency index fund will go to XR6, Solana 3, Cardano 1, and other coins. All right. And, to be honest, isn't a bad thing because everyone who wants to invest in cryptocurrency can now simply purchase this, correct? They could simply purchase this, and they would have invested in all of these cryptocurrencies, correct? Bitcoin mostly though, as it is 73%. I do, however, hope and want for the up XRP. They don't want to take too much risk with all the coins, which is why I believe Bitcoin is at 73% here. Nevertheless, they do have some exposure to altcoins in this basket. Correct? They might have simply done PN Solana, Ethernex, Bitcoin, or perhaps even Cardano. However, they decided to add these additional coins instead, which is wonderful news. But why? Hey, is that the case? Why do they want every 10 cryptocurrency to be available for purchase in a basket? This is from TechDev in a variety of ways. The cycle is objectively different even though it rhymes with others. In other words, he is essentially stating that we have yet to see anything because of this. Guys, you know what's about to happen? Yes, that is a 50% dump from this point, and the UCT dominate chart is only 2% right. I believe this since there are a lot of UCD market capitalization has skyrocketed to new heights. It is more than $100. All well, but once again, cryptos will actually soar to the top, even if this dumps a little. This is the reason I believe they are introducing what? By the way, S are accessible to anyone, and rich people find it easier to purchase them. Since it's a simpler route or entry point for them to purchase men rather than using an exchange, all right, don't just include Bitcoin and Ethereum. Include all of these other cryptocurrencies. They're getting ready. They're getting ready, just like we should. Why Senator John Thune asserts that digital assets are the way of the future and that America must lead, do you guys see correctly now? I get the impression that they want, I'm serious. I genuinely think the cycle is real. Many people are going to be amazed. The absence of retail is the explanation for this. There exists a statistic that links the price of Bitcoin to sentiment, or whether or not retail is returning. The retail indicators are dead, literally at zero. Given how quickly Bitcoin is growing, how is it the case? Unquote, quote, quote, quote. Well, I suppose they will try to attract retail when Bitcoin is worth $500K, Ethereum is worth $30K, and XRP is worth more than $50. They will make these cryptocurrencies pump when retail joins, but they will then cash out. With 18,000 Bitcoin, Trump Media is currently the 5th largest corporate Bitcoin treasury. Examine Bitcoin centralization. Examine the MicroStrategy. They're not going to quit. $2 billion worth of Bitcoin and Bitcoin-related securities are purchased by Trump Media. MicroStrategy purchases nearly $1 billion worth of Bitcoin for $6,000. All of this was only recently. By the end of 2025, Bitcoin might reach $160,000. The CEO of Bitwise believes that before the end of the year, the price of Bitcoin will surpass $200,000. These folks are all bullish, guys. And I believe these are modest pricing projections, to be honest. Furthermore, we believe that during the next 4 years, trillions of dollars will be invested in cryptocurrency. By the end of the decade, it will put Bitcoin at $500,000. All right, I believe that's what we're going to witness. Simply said, people are excessively pessimistic. For this reason, they are releasing all of these goods for consumers and retailers to entice us, the people. I'm looking forward to things like cryptocurrency index funds and coin-based futures trading at 10x maximum. Over the next 4 years, I predict that trillions of dollars will flow into this asset class. In my opinion, it will put Bitcoin at $500 before the end of the decade, which means that at present time, although it's still extremely early, the danger associated with Bitcoin is far lower now than it was 4 or 5 years ago. If you look at the precise moment, we haven't even seen anything yet, guys. This chart is the reason we should be aware of this, isn't it? We're going to see a huge influx of UCT funds into cryptocurrencies, and it doesn't take a lot of money to pump altcoins. This chart is blown up and needs to recover at least some of it. Add up all of the world's money, including stocks, bonds, real estate, gold, oil, commodities, artwork, and cash. It is approximately $800 trillion. Everyone who owns all of those items, including you and me, would have $8 trillion if we invested just 1% of our portfolio in cryptocurrency. Bitcoin becomes $500,000 per coin when $8 trillion is added to it. That is all there is to it.